Do you have interaction? Draws a card. Draws a card. Looking for something to keep him in the game. Do they find it? Oh no. This is the power of. This is just straight up the power of Eerie Ultimatum right here. Look at this battlefield. Look at this battlefield.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of Prototypical, which is my Magic the Gathering gameplay series where I test and tune my personal brews. And today I got my list that I used to climb to the Mythic this season, Abzan Eerie Doom. This is a Yorion companion deck, which means we're running 80 cards total with a copy of Yorion to pull from the sideboard for extra value for playing permanents to the battlefield. The big ones are Treacherous Blessing and Elspeth Conquers Death, drawing a lot of cards and being a solid removal spell we can repeat and loop constantly. We also have Omen of the Sun and Omen of the Hunt to gain some life, some chump blockers against more aggressive decks, or put some power on the board and ramp at instant speed for more controlling matches. For our early drops to round the curve out, we have Birth of Meletis to help us get lands, Maze Mind Tome and Golden Egg for card advantage and some utility with potential life gain and mana fixing, along with being fodder for a key enchantment in Doom Foretold. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they have to sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent, and if they can't, then we get a 2/2 with Vigilance, draw a card, drain them for 2, and then they discard a card, and then we sacrifice Doom Foretold. This is the main engine to the deck to contain the board and give us a huge advantage on the mid to late game. To leverage this, we're packing Mythos of Nethroi and several Wraths to control the board even more. To leverage this into a win, we got our main finisher of Eerie Ultimatum, which lets us get one of each permanent in our graveyard to the battlefield. This includes all of our enchantments and artifacts, Yorion if it does end up getting removed in some way, and the big one in the Planeswalkers. We're running 6. 2 Calyx, 2 Garruk, and 2 Ugin to grind out value and eventually close the game after grinding the opponents down turn after turn. We also have 2 copies of Athreos for the creature heavy decks, which is an enchantment that can be found with Calyx when ticking up and start potentially setting up more Yorion value by putting a coin counter on it. And then whenever Yorion leaves the battlefield, it immediately re-enters under our control. Otherwise, we have some tech for specifically Rogues and Rakdos midrange, with 2 Cling to Dust and Chainweb Arachnir to control what exactly is in our graveyards and generate some value after getting milled over, or getting rid of recursive threats from our opponents, like Kroxop, for example. In the sideboard, we're packing 2 Giant Killers to specifically pick on Garruk's Harbinger, since most of our removal is black, plus it's a permanent if we need it to keep Doom Foretold going. Soul Guide Lantern as our hard graveyard hate to get rid of everything from our opponent's yard at once, or snipe a card out and redraw isn't that bad. We have 2 more Shadow the Sky and 1 Shadow's Verdict as board wipes in the sideboard to complement the other Wraths we're packing in the main deck. Otherwise, for control matches, we have Destiny Spinner and Agonizer Remorse to dissect their hand to make most out of our key cards uncounterable. Sorcerer's Spyglass for Ugin specifically, but good against other cards as well, considering the castles are still in there from Throne of Eldraine. We could turn those off. We could turn off Maze Mind Tome. We could turn off Planeswalkers in specific. Plus, with Yorion being able to blink things and put it back into play, we can reset the name if we have to. For the land base, it's mostly a bunch of mana fixing with Triomes and Fabled Passage, which helps us get our 3 colors. But we do have some MDFCs in here with Balagad Recovery to grab a card that got milled over or being removed in the yard, Hagra Mauling as another creature removal spell, Ondu Inversion as a really big fun police button if things go really wrong, and 2 Amarius Calls to give us some bodies in a pinch later in the game. And that's pretty much everything. Go long, go big, put opponents in a meat grinder for a battle of attrition until we eventually claw our way to the top. With that note, let's see how the deck does for a few matches on the Mythic ladder. Alright, so we're on the draw for game number 1 against our opponent, and this hand is not exciting, to say the least, but it does have a lot of good removal. It does have the Maze Mind Tome to maybe get some additional cards. It has a Shatter the Sky if it's aggro, which
doesn't seem to have a companion, so I can't really say much yet. We do have the Temple to Scry, maybe. We do have Castle Lockwind to also draw cards if Maze Mind Tome ends up not getting there. I think we're going to keep this. We're also on the draw, so I think this is keepable. A little bit of fodder for the Doom Foretold besides the Maze Mind Tome would be nice. Mythos is not as good, but it's not bad either. We'll go ahead and lead on to Temple of Silence and Scry. Eerie Ultimatum to the bottom for now. We don't really need it. We don't have anything to graveyard. It's a little bit too far out, plus we need green sources. So it looks like it's blue-white control. Go ahead and run out of birth. I was gonna say, they took a while to decide that, sure. We'll go and get the Maze Mind Tome down now while we can, since it is a control matchup. We want to use this for card advantage as much as possible. Sure, you go ahead and get your 0-4. Not too concerned about that. Go to my turn. We're not going to scry with this because I want as many cards out of it as possible. I think we're going to wait, and we're just going to use the Maze Mind Tome for now and get down this Castle Lockwind while we're thinking about... Actually, we'll get down the Ondu Inversion. Get down the Ondu Inversion as a land, and we'll pass a turn. Because we don't really have much going on right now. They've got Omen to the Sea. That's sure. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and scry 2, draw a card. See what they do. Opponents in the tank. 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom, so they kept this card, whatever that card is. Go ahead and pass the turn. They gain 2 life, which is fine. I'm guessing they kept the blue source? Looked like a blue source, yeah. They do get scry. Scry 1 to the bottom. Okay. Go to end step. Did we go to end step? Vanishing Light. Okay. Sure. They're going to get rid of the Maze Mind Tome, which is fine. We'll go ahead and draw a card. Mythos. Okay. So now that we have the ability to... Actually, we really don't, do we? Because they get to sack the Omen, and then we have to sack the Foretold. Which is kind of a problem. So we'll go ahead and play Castle. We don't have a green source, so we can't just blow up the Vanishing Light, which is unfortunate. We'll just go ahead and play Treacherous Blessing. While they're tapped out, try and refuel, find other stuff to do. We will go ahead and discard this Cling to Dust, which isn't really doing anything right now, and we'll discard one of the Mythoses. This is to make sure that just in case they have like a Dream Trawler, let's say, we can get rid of it immediately with the Shadow this guy, as opposed to Mythos and just gonna get fizzled by the activated ability. Scry 1 to the bottom. Okay. A little bit of awkward running that we haven't hit a green source yet. A little bit awkward running. Okay, so I think now we're going to go ahead and see whether or not they have counter magic in hand. As they would probably counter this, I would guess, if they did. They do not. Okay. We'll go ahead and play the other castle while we don't have anything else going on. Okay, so sacrifice a permanent. Sacrifice the Omen, not giving us the Maze Mind Tome yet. Elspeth conquers death. Gets rid of the Doom Foretold. That's fine. That is totally fine. That's fine. That's fine. We have another one. Okay. We'll go ahead and run out the other one. And we will play this Temple of Silence Scry. The Marius Call. Do we want this right now? I don't know if we do. I mean, we could, but is it that good? Yeah, I guess we'll keep it. We have a decent amount of lands right now. This gives us some bodies. He has to sack either the ECD or the Banishing Light here. He sacks the Banishing Light, gives us amazing. Sure. Puts us under the Elspeth Conqueror's Death Task. Yorion in the deck. Okay, so he's going to bounce the Elspeth Conqueror's Death and get rid of the Doom Patrol. Which is a problem, but he did spend his whole turn, so it's not that big of a deal. So now we get to use our own Elspeth Conqueror's Death. We'll just go ahead and scry. Put a counter on this. Do we still want this? I'm going to go ahead and say no. We probably really need a green source here so we could use Mythos of Nethra more effectively. Gets rid of the Doom Foretold. So 2 Doom Foretold's down. But they are down to 3 cards in hand. Okay. So Interesting dilemma here. We could Shatter, get rid of the Yorion, and then Elspeth conquers Death next turn. Or we could just Elspeth conquers Death Yorion and go to Yorion ourselves next turn to draw some cards. I think we're going to go with that line. Get rid of the Yorion. Turn. Since we do plan on Yorioning, we're just going to use the Maze Mind to scry a few times and kind of make our draws a little bit more even. Do they have another East? They have Ugin. Okay. Ugin's a problem. But they do get rid of the Treacherous Blessing for us. If they want to get rid of our own Elspeth Conqueror's Death, they have to get rid of that one too. Okay, so they are going to get rid of everything. We're going to go ahead and scry. Omen of the Sun's fine. We will go ahead and just... There's no reason to really play anything. This is instant speed. You guys just going to go ahead and bolt us, which is fine. Archon of the Sun's Grace. Sure. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and attempt to kill the Archon now. Okay, Archon down. We'll go ahead and draw a card. Garrick. Unfortunate. We'll go ahead and play Omen of the Sun as well. Draw another Shatter, which isn't great. Do they have... Miss? They do not. We'll go ahead and bounce both of those. Go ahead and ping Ugin down by one. This game gets a little bit more interesting for us after sideboarding. He could neg 0 here and just get rid of all the tokens, if he really wanted to. I don't know what the plan would be with that, but he could. Okay, that's a Shatter. We'll go ahead and scry. Another Yorion. We will put that to the bottom, actually. We really want a green source for this Garrick. That's a green source for Garrick. Alright. That is a green source for... That's a green source for Garrick. Alright, so now that we drew Elspeth Conqueror's Death, we probably just want to get rid of Ugin. 4, 5. Yeah. We'll go ahead and get rid of Ugin then. We'll grab a forest. Show that we're in green. Get rid of Ugin. Then we'll go ahead and Shatter, get rid of the Archon. He's down to 1 card in hand. 2 cards in hand. Cycles a Triumph. That's good for us. Birth of a Lettuce. Also not bad. Okay. Go ahead and find your land. Okay. He officially just showed us that he has nothing going on. So now we get to stick Garrick for free. We're going to go ahead and scry here. We don't want that. We don't want more lands. Alright. Non-creature spells cost more. You don't have anything in hand anyway. We'll go ahead and play Garrick. We'll take up. Actually, you know what? We could actually do this. We'll go ahead and birth. We'll go find a basic plains, then the deck a little bit. Play the plains, and then we pass the turn. Holding up a draw on the Maze Mind Tome. And opponent scoops it up. Alright, so now that we're in sideboarding, we don't need these Arachniers. We probably don't need to cling to dust as much. We definitely don't need as many rats, so we can go ahead and go down the Shatter this guy's. As Exile is more relevant. He doesn't have many creatures. He does have Archon of Sun's Grace, and he does have Yorion. We did see those. So I don't think we really need as many after this. He does have Ugin, so we'll bring in the Sorcerer's Spyglasses. We'll bring in the Destiny's Banner. We'll go up the Agonizing Remorse. I suppose if we're bringing in Sorcerer's Spyglass for Ugin, we could go down 1 Ugin. Actually, we'll go down both Ugins, go up the Athreos, keep the Athreos just in case they hit Yorion and we get it or something to start really getting some stuff going. Plus, this is a indestructible creature which survives their Shatter the Skies, so that could be good. They do have Vanishing Lights, but I really don't care that much about that. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Because if Athreos eats a Vanishing Light, that's just something that we could get sacrificed for the Doom Foretold. This is good. This is good. We'll keep this. We have Treacherous Blessing to refuel unless they have a counterspell, which I don't think they do. We'll go ahead and crack this for a Black Source now. Drawing the Cling to Dust is interesting. I don't know how well that's actually going to do for us, but instant speed card draw could be something. 2 blue. Okay. Holding up Negate, it just seems. We'll go ahead and lead off on the Sorcerer's Spyglass. See if they want to counter it. Okay. This is interesting. So they don't have Ugin, they don't have anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and do the only one that actually gives them a threat, which is Shark Typhoon. Naming this on the Sorcerer's Spyglass means they can't cycle this for a body. So we'll go ahead and name Shark Typhoon. They'll probably run out this Omen of the Sea. Try and clean up their hand a little bit. They do have white sources and an Omen of the Sun that I need to keep in mind, which is not the worst. Athreos does seem kind of irrelevant here, so... Do they neutralize the Treacherous Blessing? That is something we should probably find out. So let's go ahead and find out. Do they neutralize the Treacherous Blessing? They drew a negate. Okay. Giving us more information than they need to. Which is interesting. I don't know why they would do that. I think it would be more mana efficient to just get the neutralize now unless they plan on cycling it. Them countering the Treacherous Blessing is a bit unfortunate, but they are also now more or less on the back foot. So we will go ahead and play Golden Egg. Do they wish to counter this? I didn't think so. Okay. So we will go ahead and draw. We didn't draw a green source, unfortunately. We do really want a green source. We'll just go ahead and play the plains and we'll pass a turn for now. And we will probably use this Cling to Dust to get rid of the negate on their end step. And draw a new card. Okay, so they're going to hit us for 2, which is fine. We take our beats. End step. Cling to Dust your negate. Okay. Agonize Remorse is good. Yeah, Agonize Remorse is actually really good here. So we will go ahead and we will play Agonize Remorse. Target you. This will draw out the neutralize. Unfortunately, we're kind of pinched on colors right now. That's been a thing. That has been a theme today, it seems. So we'll go ahead and pass that. That's fine. And I guess we'll just go ahead and buy Yorion now. Pass the turn. So now if they like hardcast Shark Typhoon, we can replay the Sorcerer's Spyglass as something a little bit more relevant. Maybe on a Triumph, so they can't cycle it. Maybe one of these Omens, so they can't do anything with that. They go ahead and use 2, pass. We do hit a green source, which is very, very nice. He most definitely has interaction for Yorion, I feel. And he's going to be expecting the Yorion. We want to get to the point where we can do more than one thing a turn, so we're just going to go ahead and pass for now. We could just start making Castle Ardenvale tokens to chump his blockers, which is fine. Until he taps out for something. He's going to tap out for something eventually. He kind of has to. Okay, so that's Birth. Gets a card out of his hands. He goes to find a base plains. I'm assuming he plays it for turn. Yep. Pass the tax. We will make a token. We will block a token. Okay. Build his tokens off for free, basically. Does he do anything else? Okay. Now we have Mythos. We do have Mythos at top. We could try an Athreos here, but if there's nothing on board, Yorion will just draw us a card to reset the Sorcerer's Spyglass, which doesn't really do anything, because he does still have the Shark Typhoon hand. So we're just going to go ahead and continue passing. We don't really have to do anything right now. he is effectively 20 cards deeper than we are. So, sacrifices the Omen to scry. Okay. So, effectively, they are on a higher clock than we are. We do have lower life total, but they have less cards than we do. And we have ways to gain life. We have ways to stall out the game, effectively. So, Seagate Restoration. Okay, so they're going to refill their hand, but they're going to tap out for the turn, which is good. Well, it's good and bad, but sure. Plays a land, goes to attacks, you attack with a token, and walk into this again. We're going to walk into it again. We'll make a token. We'll block the token. Okay, you tapped out, so you probably have an Elspeth Conqueror's Death. So we're going to go ahead and try not to play into that much. This is actually kind of tricky. I think we're going to go ahead and play Treacherous Blessing here. Refill our hand, give us some more action. Agonizer Remorse is actually interesting. No, cancel. We're going to crack this. We're Black Source first, so we don't lose our egg. Agonizer Remorse you while you are effectively tapped out. That's an Ugin, Elspeth Conqueror's Death, Yorion Banishing Light. Okay. So, since we don't have the Spyglass on Ugin, we do know he doesn't have counter. So we can get rid of the Elspeth Conqueror's Death now. And then lead into Sorcerer's Spyglass on Ugin. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll pass it. So we'll get rid of the Elspeth Conqueror's Death. I'm assuming he's going to try and play Ugin here. There's the Ugin. So now we can just Yorion and name Sorcerer's Spyglass on Ugin, drawing a few extra cards in the process. Unless he wants to exile the Treacherous Blessing, in which case he is going to exile the Treacherous Blessing. Okay, so now that we don't have the Treacherous Blessing, I think we change our line a little bit. We're going to go ahead and play this Ugin. Force him to sacrifice the Ugin? Yeah, we'll just do that, and then we'll hold up Mythos Mana for the inevitable Banishing Light. So you sacrifice your Ugin. We hold up 2 Mythos. He's probably going to Banishing Light. Either Banishing Lights or Shark Typhoon or drew something else relevant. Okay, there goes a Banishing Light. Banishing Light naming 1. Doom Foretold. Okay. Sure. Second Banishing Light on Sorcerer's Spyglass. Okay. We will Mythos the one with Doom Foretold. And opponent scoops it up. Alright, so that was an interesting game. You didn't really see the full power of the Doom Foretold lock, but you could see in the blue-white control matchup that we kind of just outgrind them, we outvalue them in such a way that they essentially don't have much they could do. Like, naming the Shark Typhoon, I think, was really key to slowing down their clock. And I think they were trying to get around that by double Banishing Lighting. And then we just got the Doom Foretold back, so they'd eventually have to sacrifice this. We just rename something else, like Castle Vantress, and then we just continue grinding out that way. They didn't even realize that we had so much action left. But I feel like against the control matchups, the Doom Foretold deck is just really solid. So, alright. Seems good. Alright, so we're going to play against what appears to be another Yorion deck, so I'm guessing it's another Doom Foretold Staxy deck. probably a mirror. Probably the Esper variant, though. I don't know about this hand. We do have 2 basic lands. We've got 3 lands. We have all of our colors, which is a problem last game we saw. We do have to cling to dust to maybe get rid of something, but I don't know how well it's going to you. We do have the Calyx for value. Elspeth conquers death. Yeah. You know what? We'll go ahead and keep it. I think it's decent enough. We'll go ahead and lead on the Triumph as it's our only black source and pass to the opponent. See what they're up to. Alright. So it is a blue-white deck of some form. So it's I want to guess it's Esper Stacks, but it could be anything else, honestly. We'll go ahead and lead on the plains and pass the turn. We do have Omen to the Hunt for turn 3, which is that. Oh, man. Okay, this is interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Kind of dig that. That's kind of spicy. Alright, so they're playing a Bant Yorion deck. Trailer problem. That's new. It's definitely new. Llanowar Visionary. So this looks like it's just like a Bant Blink deck, which will probably have a good amount of value. So we'll go ahead and respect that a little bit. We'll get a black source, as we'll need triple black for this Eerie Ultimatum eventually. All right. What do we want to start with? We'll probably want to start with the Temple. Scry. I don't think we want the Maze Mind Tome because we're gonna probably put it to the bottom to play Calyx anyway. So we'll go ahead and play Calyx while they're tapped out. Check it up. Dig for something great. Treacherous Blessing is pretty relevant. Okay, so they've got 4 mana. 5 mana. Cracks the Fabled Passage. That turns like Cling to Dust. Well, I guess not interesting, but if we need to really get this out of our hand, we could just snipe that and get an extra mana out of it. So they got 3 green now. Elspeth Conquers Death. Then we got Calyx. Fine. It's fine. That's fine. Okay. So, a couple ways we can go about this. We can get the Duper Toll down now. Pass the turn. See what they do. They get rid of the Trail of Problems. Non-creature spells cost extra. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and cash this in to draw a card now. Their graveyard doesn't seem super relevant right now. And I do plan on getting rid of their ECD with my own. Actually, we can't now because of the tax, so I guess we're not doing that. Okay. I mean, it looks like for the time being, it's just going to end up being like they draw another card off of Llanowar Visionary, which is not awful, honestly. So, they are kind of tapping out. Are they going to buy the Yorion? Okay, they buy the Yorion. We sack Omen of the Hunt. Okay, so they don't have anything. They're probably just going to end up drawing another card off of the Elspeth Conquer's Death, which I think is fine. That's more or less fine. So we will go ahead and yeah, we'll just go ahead and play Balagate Recovery as a land and Treacherous Blessing. Draw a few cards. Ooh, wow. All right, there's some late game. There's some late game gas. That's some gas. Draws a card. Returns to the Llanowar Visionary. As a draws a card. 8 cards on it. That's not that bad. Really not that bad. Like Yorion drawing 2 cards. That's not super impactful. I'm getting the inkling that they're pinched on mana a little bit with their colors. They might not have enough blue to play something. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it's in for 2. Yep. Yep. Thassa deep falling. Thassa is a problem. Thassa will need to go away. Thassa will most definitely need to go away. Okay, they draw a card. Thasa's gonna have to go. Thassa 100% needs to go away. So we will. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we extinction event on odd, they have to sacrifice Thassa. Alright. That seems good. They don't have any blue open to interact with me. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Odd. Get rid of both Llanowar Visionaries. Pass the turn. You have to sacrifice Thassa. I'm guessing this is going to be another ECD to get rid of the Doom Foretold before we get value out of it. Valid recovers for Elspeth Conquers Death. Sure, we will go ahead and get rid of Golden Egg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. What the? Can't claim it. Onduit version doesn't seem super relevant, so we'll go ahead and play that as a. I mean, yeah, I guess we just jam Garrick. I think we just jam Garrick and make some dorks. Flashes in Omen of the Sea. Yep. Pretty normal. Sacrifice that. Find blue source, I would guess. Yep. Sacrifice Omen of the Sea. I don't really mind if he makes me sacrifice the Garrick, but I'm guessing he's going to ECD, exile Garrick, make a sacrifice. We don't really have any way of dealing with that, unfortunately. But we do have the two bodies that he now has to deal with. Like, that's a decent clock, so. Blast Casket, gets rid of a token, sure. We have to sack Doom Patrol, unfortunately, because they played us. They played us pretty good. Okay, so what do we do here? We get back to Thassa if we're not careful. We could Eerie Ultimatum here. It's not a great Eerie Ultimatum by any means, but we could Eerie Ultimatum. We could also just get rid of their. 3, 4, 6. Yeah, we'll do this. How about that? Get rid of their ECD so they can't get value out of Yorion. Play this as a land. And pass the turn. Hold up Thing to Dust. In case they have shenanigans. I could have hit him for 2. That's fine. I mean, if they just Yorion to. I don't know. Wicked Wolf. Alright. Wicked Wolf. Eats my wolf. Yep. Cool. Wolf goes away. They could sacrifice the food to gain some life and effectively draw a card with Trail if they want. Okay. Do we want to play another Elspeth Conquers Death, or do we want to play Garrick? Because if he kills Garrick, we just get it back with ECD. But we could also just play another ECD, get rid of Wicked, just keep it on attacks forever. We could also just Yorion to get ECD back. Develop more of a board. Yorion's not providing much value right now anyway, so we might as well just play that as a body. Keep it there. Not a big deal. We get that back. We exile the Wicked Wolf. Oh, and it looks like they're going to attempt to sack food to dig for cards. Digs for another wolf. Interesting. Doesn't keep. Okay, sure. That works. Finds Great Henge, which is spooky. Great Henge is definitely something we're going to need to get rid of. So, Eerie Ultimatum right now would draw us 4 cards, find us a land, and get us Doom Patrol back. I do think we're kind of in a good position right now. Obviously, they don't know about the Eerie Ultimatum. They could be holding counter magic or something. Well, Wicked Wolf is an interesting. Charming Prince, sure. Scries, too. I'm guessing they're going to set up the Yorion loop now. With the Charming Prince. Go ahead and play Yorion, blink everything. Shenanigans. Which is fine. I will say they're going with like a food variant, which is interesting. So they exile the Yorion, which is fine. Sure. Gets rid of that. Exiles the Yorion. Yada yada yada. Non-creature spells cost extra. Alright, so now we Fabled Passage, Cracked Passage. We are going to find, I guess, a block source. Doesn't really matter. I think we need to stop this loop before it gets a little bit too out of hand. We're going to play Garrick. We are going to kill Charming Prince, draw a card. Hold up Mythos of Netheroi. Pass. Go to combat, get in. Hit for 4. Pass the turn. Returns Yorion. We will kill Yorion in instant speed. Opponent sacks the food, uses Trail of Crumbs. If they kill Garrick, I'm actually happy about it, because then I can get Garrick back with the Elspeth Knocker's Death, immediately Ultimate, and then Eerie Ultimatum. Give everything trample, get things back, start making 5/5s. But it doesn't look like he has a way of getting rid of it right now. He does, it's probably exile type effect, which would be unfortunate, but not awful. There's also an argument to getting Doom Patrol down and then sacking Garrick and then gaining Garrick back. Plays Guiltius. Draws a card, makes a food. Yorion gets back Trail of Crumbs, makes a food. Sure. So that does nothing, essentially. We will need to get rid of this Great Henge. I will say that now. So I think the best course of action is to do this. I think now's time for Eerie Ultimatum while he's tapped out. Alright. GG. Okay, so opponent is playing... Opponent was playing... Yorion Blinking Tribal. And he got scared away from the Eerie Ultimatum deck. Okay. Yeah. Not much to say about that. Salty scoops, man. Salty scoops. Opponent is playing a Luris deck. We are on the draw. If I had to guess, it's probably Rogues. We don't have a green source. This Arachneer could be really good, but we just don't have... We do have Omen of the Sun, which is nice. We do have a Scryland to maybe there. We'll go and keep it. It's a risky one, but I think it's worth it. Opponent mulligans to 6. Okay, so it definitely looks like Luris Rogues. And if they are mill heavy and we end up getting to Eerie Ultimatum, then that's even better. We're going Scry. We'll keep the Golden Egg as it is a form to get green mana to play the Chain Web if we really need it, which we might. Plus, it gives us something to do on turn 2. Okay, so they play a Triumph and pass the turn. We'll go ahead and play the Golden Egg. Please, counter. I was going to say, did you actually just counter that? Okay, so opponent plays Thieves Guild Enforcer. They're definitely on the Rogue deck. We do mill a Triumph. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted that, but not a problem. They also mill a Treacherous Blessing, which is relevant. Okay, mills 2 more. Oh my word, they milled so many lands. They're milling so many lands. Jeez, man. Jeez, okay. Sure. We will go ahead and play. We'll go ahead and play that. We'll pass the turn. We're gonna try and bait him with the Omen of the Sun and try and get rid of the Steve Field. Okay. Sure. Omen of the Sun. Make 2 darks, gain 2 life. We will double block the Thieves Guild. Yep. You go and take 2. We get rid of the Thieves Guild. They stop milling us. They milled a lot of our lands. And opponent just spends their turn buying Luris, which is honestly okay. Alright, so we do know the Triumph, which is nice. We don't really have anything on 4. We'll go ahead and play the Triumph. And we're going to go ahead and cash in this egg to make green mana to play the Chain Web as a Stonewall blocker. Because if they do end up killing it, we can exile a bunch of stuff from our graveyard that we don't need and make a 4/5 and kill the Soaring Top Thief. So, next turn we can Elspeth Conquer's Death Aluris. I'm guessing they play Thieves Guild Enforcer. It's fine. Yep. Kill 2 cards. We will block. Okay, we'll go ahead and go into the Elspeth Conquer's Death. Get rid of Luris. Forever. Pass the turn. Another Soaring Top Thief. That's fine. Yep. Yep. We mill a ton of cards. Milling many lands that I would really like to see. Dupertold's interesting, but I don't think we want it here. I think we're probably just going to end up with Chain Web. Green source. That is a problem. Okay, like Castle Lockline. We will try. Yeah, let's play Garrick. We will destroy Thieves Guild Enforcer. Draw a card. A green source off the top would potentially win us the game. We do really need the green source, though. We have green sources left that are untapped. We do have a basic forest. That is a... Okay, so... we're going to go ahead and snag... Ooh, really don't know. Yeah, I think we just take Calyx here. With a loyalty counter. Make some doors. We will exile Soaring Path until Omen leaves. Slow down their clock. Play lands. Play another. Kill the other sword copy. Or do we play Doom? We play Doom Patrol, I think. Then we can buy Yorion. Oh, and it has a drown a lot. Alright, so do they have another lord? If they have another lord, then we're probably done. Bloodchief's Thirst on the counts. Oh, and it gets it. That's the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Really need a green source. Really need a green source. Mother Wind Robber. Alright, we'll get in for 2. Or get in for 4, because we don't have any way to block. Pass the turn. Passes 2 attacks. Attacks. We are going to attempt to eat this. Do they have the counterspell? Do they hit the counterspell? They do. Okay. So we go to 2. We mill 2 cards. Untap green source off the top, please. We still have a basic forest. There's 1. Actually, does that give it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't do it. Unless we draw a land. That does it. I believe that is game now. Grab a forest. Yep. Tick up. Get our value while we can. We're gonna replace it. Grab Doom. Make some doors. Do you have interaction? Draws a card. Draws a card. Looking for something to keep him in the game. Do they find it? Oh no. This is the power of... This is just straight up the power of Eerie Ultimatum right here. Look at this battlefield. Look at this battlefield. See you later, rogues. See you later. You ain't got nothing. You got nothing. Oh, wow. Wow, the value. Ooh. Wow. Wow. Sell any number of other permanents. Let's see. This, exile that, exile this. And that, I guess. Sure. Exile all those. You can have your rogues back, I don't care. Because I'm pretty sure he's dead anyway. So we'll grab a white source. We'll play the other Doom Foretold. We go to 1, which is Actually, we don't even go to 1. Take up. We whiff. That's fine. We'll go on Scry. Just because. Just because we definitely don't want more lands. And pass a turn. Use Guild Enforcer, flash that in, sure. Whatever. Get him with the crew. Yep. Kills Yorion. Draw some cards. Go to 4. Discard 6 cards. We'll discard the Cling to Dust. Discard a land. Discard Omen. We don't have any lands left. Discard the other Omen. Discard another land and discard Elspeth Conquers. Sacrifice 2 things. Okay. Ruin Crab. Sure. He doesn't know, does he? He doesn't know, does he? Yeah, he knows. Next turn would have been able to Mythos one of our wolf tokens and give everything +3/+3 and trample. So, opponent is playing rogues. So we're definitely going to keep these in. I don't know if we want all of them. Maybe I'm running too many. We're going down a couple Elspeth Conquer's Deaths. Actually, I think we just go down all of Elspeth Conquer's Deaths. Go up the Shadow's Verdict. Go up Shatter the Sky. For more wraths. And I think we run it like that, honestly. Is there anything else we really want? We could get Agonizing Horses, but that seems kind of greedy. We'll just do this. Alright. So, opponent's on the play again. Being on the play against this deck kind of is a pain in the butt, but not that bad. Okay. I'm inclined to keep this. We do have Birth, we've got Omen, we've got an Extinction Event, the Doom Foretold, we have the Eerie Ultimatum in hand. It is only 2 lands, and we are missing green, again, because in order for me to play the Doom Foretold on time, I have to fetch a black source. But I guess we'll see what we draw. Okay, we find a black source. We can fetch a green source then. So we'll go ahead and fetch a forest. Then we could go Plains, Birth, Swamp, Omen, Extinction Event on curve. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and Plains. We'll play Birth. Soaring copy. Yep. Find a land. Go ahead. Mills this for 3. Buys Luris. That's a really slow hand. That is a really slow hand. Mills the Eerie Ultimatum. Doesn't know we have the second one. Okay, so we will play the... We'll play the Plains that he knows that we have. We will pass the turn. We'll probably just flash in this Omen to gain some life and put up some blockers. Yep, mill 2 cards. Mill a couple lands. Pass the blocks, no blocks. Take or beats. Scries, mills us for 3. Yep. Luris? You gonna play the Luris? No. We'll play Omen. Alright. So now what I think we do is we run out this Doom Foretold. Start getting some value out of it. Yep. Opponent takes 1. They have to sack a permanent. Sack that. What I'm hoping is they play Luris and replay the Ruin Crab. And then I could go Extinction Event on even, force him to sack the Soaring Thought Thief. Yep. Because we're not going to get as much value out of the Doom Patrol here. We'll sack Omen at Sun. That's okay. So I do still think it's the right play to just. We're going to play this on green so we can play Chain Web. We're going to Extinction Event on Pod. While he's tapped out, get rid of Luris, get rid of the Ruin Crab. Get in for 2 since we can't block anyway. Force him to sack the Soaring Thought Thief. We are going to lose this Doom Patrol, but that's fine. That's totally fine. We do need some blocks, but not doing so bad. Okay, sack the Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol goes away. We will probably pass the turn here after getting in. Maybe eat a card out of our graveyard, draw a card, something. Or see what he does, maybe. Maybe he does something relevant. We'll just eat the Soaring Copy. Get it out of the yard now. Probably the better play anyway. Exile that game 3. Go to combat, get it. Deal some damage. Play Calyx, check for counter magic. Has Drown Block. Sure. We don't really have to do anything right now. He's just opting to not do anything. Oh, okay, well, play this Maze Mind Tome. Would you like to counter a Maze Mind Tome? Yeah, I didn't think so. Go to combat. Get it for 2. Slowly beating you down. Pass it. A lot of lands in the graveyard, unfortunately. Passes the turn. Is he just flooding? Is he just flooding like no other right now? Shadow. That doesn't do much, unfortunately. I mean, go in. Get in for 2 more. Let's do it. Get in there. Damage. That's the turn. Gonna continue eating up our own graveyard with escape stuff. Then get Dusty Drown. Draw into a black card. Continue drawing cards. We will play Golden. Fine. Here. We will play Temple. Scribe. Yeah, we don't mind that in the graveyard. Go to combat. Get in. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Sure. Freeze off. Go to block. Damage. Yep. So I got 4 mana. I mean, yeah, I guess we check for counter magic. Doom Patrol. Yeah. Fast turn. Sword copy. Yep. Mill some cards. Mill some more cards. We'll block with this wall. Our purpose has been served. And it doesn't have anything more interaction. Okay, unless he's just spamming the spacebar, which is very possible. Alright, so. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 7. Should just play the chain web now. Get rid of the soaring. Could also shatter or shadow verdict. I think we go ahead and lead off with shatter. Okay. Get the shatter. We'll buy the Oregon. Play on doing version as a test. Phone at 5 card 10. Down to 8. All the death. Sure. Yep. Female some stuff. Go to my turn. Chain web. Exile. Other chain web. Exile. Shatter. Shatter. Down again. Generals I pay for. Sure. We will kill the thief. Pass a turn. Down to 27 cards. He's down to 3 cards in hand. Land Ugin. He knows what's coming. He must be this far because he's got pass this up. He will again attempt to chain web. Uh, this, this, this. Steal your soaring copy. Play Fable Passage. Right. See what we got. Probably nothing, but we'll see what we have. Oh, we do have some. Cool. Play Birth. So the plan is probably just force him to have the answer to Eerie Ultimatum. All the time. Okay. Mail a bunch of stuff. Mail a bunch of stuff. It doesn't seem like he has much of anything. It really doesn't. Like Garrett. Counter. Sure. We'll play Mythos. Those sort of stuff. Pass the turn. Windrunner. Yep. Builds me for 2. 15 cards left in the deck, which is not great. Sacrifices. Pass to attacks. No attacks. Go to my turn. Fling to dust your. Fling to dust your Windrunner. Have interaction. I mean, again? Yeah. Yep. attacking. Kill Thieves Guild Enforcer, force him to block. Last 2 cards in hand. Turn. Alright. We're just gonna go for it. Do you have it? Do you have an answer to this? Oh, he doesn't. Alright, so I think this game's over. Oh man, this is just gonna be fucking crazy value. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Oh man. Oh man. Whew, we're gonna decline. We don't have any basics left. We're just doing it for memes at this point. We'll go ahead and put that. Draw 3 cards. Oh, jeez. Yep. Bolt your face. Play a black source. Tick up, I guess. Nothing. Make some dudes. And yeah. Yeah, pass the turn, I guess. Put a coin counter on Chain Web, I guess. The only one that can actually come back. How do you win here? I don't know how he wins from here. Like, if he can maybe mill me for the rest of the cards in my deck with like Cacophony or something, maybe. But he's gotta mill every card. Ah, okay. So he's gonna try and mill me out. Yep. Actually, that could do it. Hold on. Hold. Uh, shoot. That's bad. Is there something I could draw to prevent me from losing on my upkeep? I do have a Hagramon. I'm gonna have to try and hit it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and hit Hagramon. That's not Hagramon. There's the Hagramon, but I can't play it now. Yep. Yep, I can't play the Hagramon. That means I'm dead. Yeah, he won. Oh, so close. So close. Now that I'm thinking about it, we probably want the City Spinners in this matchup. I've completely over them before. We'll cut Treasure Blessing and Golden Eye to get them in here. Run it like that. That was a close game. That was a really close game. Oh my word. That was a problem. This, I don't know if I can. I don't think this. Ow. Ow. This. Okay. Price of a 3-color mana base. Are you? Now we're just mulliganing to Oblivion. Okay. Sure. We'll throw a plane, Garrick, and this Shadow's verdict at the bottom. Pray to God. On a Moldifor. On a mulligan to 4. This is insanity. On a Moldifor against Rogues, this is going to be quite a pain in the patootie. That's ridiculously unlucky. I had 3 one-landers in a 33 land deck. I don't know how. I just happened to do it. We're just gonna go ahead and play this Plains and say, hold up Mythos, because he's gonna have something. Probably Soaring Thought Thief. Yep. We're just gonna kill this now. We'll land an omen. Alright, next turn is probably just gonna be play castle, get Yori on, unless I draw something good, which that's not great. Yeah, we get Yori on. Yes. My word. This has been a really bad turn of events. Alright, so we're continuing the trend of just drawing a bunch of lands. Alright. We're gonna play this as a blocker. Probably gonna get countered. But I don't have anything else going on, so we're just playing that as a blocker. You trying to race roads? Is that the plan now? His hand must not be that good if he's buying Luris on turn 4 and not killing my one creature. His hand must not be good. Get in there. I mean, yeah, I guess. Guess we're just gonna race him. Don't ask me why, but I guess we're gonna race him. We hit the chain web. Alright. Take our beats. Into the story. We will make a token. He draws a lot of cards. He's got to discard 3. Unless he plays something, which he still needs to discard a couple cards. Sure. Mill some stuff. He's got a discard. I'll going to discard creatures that he can play with first anyway. So what's the... We just play a Marius Call while we snap out. Alright, we're presenting lethal. Marius Call coming in pretty hard with the Moldifor Flood. Wow. He got in his yard. Alright. It doesn't. He has 8th Thieves Guild Enforcer. Yep, we mill some stuff. We mill more stuff. Alright, so he keeps the Soaring Thought Thief. Block with a wall. We'll block with an indestructible 0/4. Shade Web? Exile, 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 exile. Attempts to kill Yorion, kills Yorion. Shit. We kill the Thought. Go ahead and play Birth. Find a land, play a land, get in for 8. Opponent goes to 4. If he swings with Luris to gain life, we block the Shade Web, for sure. Yep, we know some stuff. Built 4 Wraths so far, which is kind of ridiculous. He milled Shatter, Shadow's Verdict. I think I milled another Shatter in my graveyard, and an Extinction. So we milled 4 rats out of the 7 in the top 30 cards of the deck. That's a little crazy. That's a little bit much, I want to say. What is the math on that? Alright, we draw another Shatter, so if things go poorly here, we can at least just play that. Go to combat, we're gonna get in. Get in with the 2. 2 in the air. Do you have an answer? Oh, and it scoops it up! Alright! That was impressive. Managing a win on the mulligan to 4. That was rather impressive. I want to say that was pretty good.